Perfectly excellent.
You know, thank goodness for Chester Copperpot, because while the little countdown was going on, I was just thinking like, oh man, I got to get myself motivated. But just those couple of little guitar riff, those dulcet tones immediately kind of brightens my spirits.
Amazing you said something, because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, oh, there's the little shot of adrenaline that you need to get going.
Yes. Chester Copperpot, wonderful band. Everyone should check them out. But hey, hello. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Perfectly Excellent. Party people and people who aren't partying. You know, we don't judge. You can do whatever you want.
It's a Thursday night.
It's a Thursday, you know.
You tend to party on a Thursday night? I don't know. I never partied.
Right? Don't some towns call that like, oh, it's like the weekend for locals? It's local weekend where like, you know, the tourists aren't around.
Maybe. Hey, you know what? I thought of another workism that you know, we talked about things at work like, oh, you get 20 minutes back when like a meeting ends, or not like 5 minutes and stuff like that, or Happy Monday, Happy Wednesday. Happy Friday Eve was going around a lot.
Oh, because it's Thursday, so it's Friday. Yeah. Oh no, I don't care for that one bit. I think those are the people who should be drug out into the street and beaten.
We should do an episode on workisms like Sniglets one day. Just all of these things.
There are a lot of them that I truly detest. Somebody said, man, I'm not going to be able to remember what it is, but someone said something of that ilk yesterday in one of the meetings I was in, and like my skin just started crawling because I got so aggravated that a human being would say that in a semi-serious manner.
You know, none of them bothered me until we talked about it, and now it's like all I could hear.
I know. Like as soon as you notice it, you can't not notice it. And it's like, oh, everyone's on autopilot and no one is actually thinking. They're just repeating the same nonsense over and over and over again.
Yeah. No, I did one of those things today where I was talking to a teammate and they're saying, all right, well, enjoy your day off tomorrow. And I said, you too. You know, like where you're just like, I'm like, but we just let it go. That was it.
Very good. Well, hey, but how are you doing otherwise? I'm trying to motivate myself through. I've had a rough week at work, but like, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been like you said, it's been a rough week, but I got eyes on the prize. I got Legions Con this weekend, so it's like, and I got tomorrow off, like I was saying. So I'm done. I'm cruising now. I'm flying.
All right, I got one more day of the week to get through, then a couple more to power through, and then I got some time off around Thanksgiving. I got some time off around the end of the December. So I also am just trying to, you know, keep my head down, don't make any more problems than already exist, and just kind of get to that time off. That
crazy thing to mention Thanksgiving already, right? Like we're here. Yeah. Halloween is done.
Yeah, this is my favorite time of the year. Like once we get into the fall, I love the fall. I love Thanksgiving. You know, my birthday's in the middle of this. The Christmas time. Like I can't wait to start listening to Christmas music. So I'm getting ready. I'm the reason for the season.
Nice. Yeah, I believe I saw that online somewhere.
But you want to start off with some exchanging of inventions?
I was thinking that would be a good place to start.
Excellent.
Perfectly excellent.
All right. I have a bunch of like quick little ones because I just have this pile that I kind of need to get through. So do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first with my stupid pile?
I will go first because I just have one little one today. And okay. Funny enough, it's something that I ordered from Best Buy. Have you purchased anything from Best Buy in the past decade?
Yes. Decade, yeah. Yes.
Past 5 years?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I guess it happens.
Past 2 years? Probably not.
No. It's weird. I got like an email that like, hey, your certificate is about to expire or something like that. And like, what? How could I possibly have earned any kind of certificate? I haven't purchased much there, but I apparently had a $10 certificate. I'm like, all right, well, don't want it to expire. So I cashed it in on something, and that something just arrived. And that something just arrived a little bit like crushed and mangled.
Oh.
I guess that's okay. So this is a new Samus amiibo for the new Metroid game, Metroid Prime 4. And these things are now, they used to be like, whatever, $15. Okay. They got bumped up to $20. And thanks to some tariff stupidness, they're now $30. These things are not worth $30. But a $10 gift thing or reward certificate, well, that made it $20.
Okay.
And sure, I'll grab it for 20. There's 2 more from this game that I want to get, but I have learned my lesson with these stupid things, and I will no longer pay full price for them. So I'm waiting for those 2 to go on sale. But yeah, I mean, these are cool little statues.
Yeah, what are they? Like,
So-
you've been talking about them for years, but I don't think I've ever just flat out asked. Like, I don't. What are they? What do they do?
I don't really know what they do. I know, like, I have the Legend of Zelda ones, and in the game, if you tap them on your controller, they drop little bonuses in the game. But I think they do more than that. Like, I couldn't tell you what this one does.
Mhm.
In the in what was it? Not Metroid Dread. In one of the Metroid games, like, you tapped it on the controller, it would give you like an energy tank. So they're like, they give you little in-game perks. But I think they do more than that. I really couldn't tell you. I think they just look awesome in front of a camera. So that's what I'm here for. But that's it. Yeah. So there again, there's 2 more I would like to get. One is $30. The other is actually $40. So I'm going to be waiting on those. But I got this one courtesy of Best Buy, $10 reward certificate, and a smashed. Came in a giant box, but still managed to be smashed. So quite impressive.
Yeah. They might have smashed it on the way in.
Yeah, they said, oh, I'm gonna just too much room in this box. Let me just damage this ahead of time. Oh, but wait, hey, use amiibo accessories in many compatible games. That's what it says in the back.
Well, that explains it.
Yeah, so I think that kind of clears it up right there. I don't know.
That'll
Maybe
entertain people.
I'll try and find out for next time what they do. But I like to just take pictures of them and put them on a shelf. That's what they do. That's
All right.
right, kind of like there-ish. Or maybe there-ish. I don't know. There-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you say so.
But you got a lot of stuff. I got one thing. You got many.
Yeah, I have been like I have a big backlog of G.I. Joe classified things. And it got to the point where I couldn't keep them in their boxes anymore because they were just taking up too much space, having boxes all over the place.
Okay.
So I've opened a bunch of them, and I just figured I'll just whip through them real quick so we can kind of go through, because there are 3 stages of figures that kind of show my collecting changing as far as classified goes. Because originally my goal was to get, all of the 82 to 86 figures, and I got some new ones of those. We got Retro Flint.
Okay, he's got his shotgun there. He's looking good.
Yeah. We got Dial Tone.
Oh, Dial Tone. He's got his little Sonic thing and his eyeball thing.
Yeah.
Apparently. Most important.
We got Monkey Wrench.
He's got a fancy
dreadnought.
scarf.
He's got
G.I. Joe
that-
is certainly lax on the. Wait, is he a Joe or is he a Cobra?
He's a dreadnought technically, though they align with Cobra. He's one of Zartan's buddies.
They were certainly lax on uniforms, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's-
Oops,
okay.
they're falling down. And we got the Televiper.
Okay.
So some of the other things is like I've been getting the figures. I've been focusing on 82 to 86 because that's the era that I collected G.I. Joe. But they've been putting out some other figures for some other years, and I'm just kind of like, you know what? I kind of like some of these, so I've started picking up a handful of those. Like we got Outback because he's pretty cool looking. I like him.
Did you say survival?
It does say survival, in
Great.
case you forgot.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We got the Iron Grenadier Trooper, who I just think is really
Now
cool.
that's a uniform. That's how you do it.
Yeah. So again, never had Iron Grenadiers when I was a kid. That's like 88 or 89, past my thing, but still cool. We got a Techno Viper, who again is just really
He's got
cool
a
looking.
wrench. What is that thing? A hammer?
Like a wrench that has like I don't know. Maybe it gets water. It's a wet wrench.
Okay, sure.
But anyway, I like him a lot. And then like one of my favorite figures that's come out this year, which is the Crystal Ball figure.
Oh, okay. This is not your typical Cobra kind of dude.
Yeah, he's a spooky Cobra guy. So dig him. So, and then a couple more I got is like they've also been doing like some like new figures that don't have pre-existing toys, and there's been a couple of them that are pretty cool. So I've kind of grabbed them. So this doesn't totally count. This is a Steel Corps or Steel Brigade figure. So that there was like a version of this back in the late 80s.
This guy just
but
had a
he
name
came as
or
a two-pack
he just
with this other guy which is the main reason I bought it, the Twilight Guard, which is like a Crimson Guard but Twilighty.
nighttime-ish,
Which means I think he's a vampire.
possibly. All right. Yeah, these dudes are looking good, looking rough.
I can't hear you anymore.
Hello? Did I go on mute? Checking.
Oh, now I can. Can you hear me this whole? I think I might have hit my speaker by mistake.
No, I've been hearing you loud and clear. You've been missing my witty banter then all the time.
I apologize if I was talking over you because I couldn't hear anything.
That's all.
And then the last one is we got the Trench Viper. Again, it's just kind of neat looking. Got a little visor thing. Hello, peekaboo.
Was he actually a viper, like a snake person?
No, he's got a little.
Oh, there. Sorry, it looked like teeth.
Olive.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
very cool.
He's fun.
I'm glad
So,
he's
yeah,
have with shields now, looking for more protection. That's good.
Yeah. So I just had a bunch piling up. I want to get them out. I want to get them on their shelves. But that's the latest batch of Joes that have kind of come through. And again, expanding my horizons a little bit on the figures that I collect, because the arbitrary only want this box of figures, I've been rethinking that.
Really? And maybe that's a good segue into our topic tonight.
It could be. It could be. I'm gonna push the button.
Perfectly excellent.
I'm endlessly amused by having reversed that footage, so it looks.
So he's taking it out. He's taking things away. He is not storing the arc. He's like, hey, we need this. But that could actually be the beginning of, was that Crystal Skull where they went back for it?
Oh, yeah. Well, they went back there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so basically, this is something that we've been talking about for a while, and I wasn't sure that this made sense to talk about on the show as like a segment or whatever. But you kind of were pushing on it that you had some questions about what I was doing. So I've been playing some stuff close to the vest here because basically I have two projects that are going on right now. Like one, I pulled down all of the bins in my attic to kind of reorganize and to figure out what's actually up there. And two, rearranging stuff in this room for display purposes. And I think we'll get into why I started doing this in just a minute, but I just want to start off by I got a couple slides here.
Yeah, because I'm curious, which one came first? Was it the rearranging or the cleaning out?
The rearranging, but this is what I pulled out of my attic.
Okay.
Actually, this plus 5 more bins that I pulled down is like a second round. So in total, I pulled down about 35 of these like really large, like Home Depot style bins. So most of those bins are full of empty toy boxes that I've been saving. Like the vast majority of those are. So as far as the why and what I'm doing this, so part of it is just kind of to organize things a little bit better so I know where stuff is, because I've been filling these bins with boxes for years. Sure. Like as I opened the figures, so everything's just kind of mixed up and random. I guess vaguely chronological. Yeah. But if I wanted to find a specific box, I would have no idea.
Just go back through time, go through all of them until you hit it.
Yeah. So I wanted to kind of put the boxes that I'm saving, I want to kind of put all of the same ones together, like all of the Thundercats boxes I want together, all of the He-Man boxes, just so I know where stuff is.
You could even label it a tub then. He-Man boxes.
Fueled by a need to find some specific boxes. So I have to jump around here for a second. So
jump around, jump up, and get down.
The G.I. Joe Ultimates figures by Super 7. I wanted to get their boxes down because while it hasn't been like officially said, this line's pretty much dead.
Okay.
They're not releasing any new waves. We only ended up with a handful of figures. It's missing a ton of characters that I wanted, which is kind of why I started collecting the classifieds instead. So I needed more room for classified stuff on the shelf. And also, I didn't feel like I needed to have a bunch of figures from a deadline that didn't really get to where I wanted them to get anyway.
Mhm.
So that sort of opened up things for me, and I kind of wanted to accomplish a couple of things. One, sell those. Two, get all of my empties together and organized, and maybe decide if I need to keep them all, because maybe it seems a bit excessive to have 35 bins full of boxes in my attic.
One might say, but
make some room in the main room here, and then maybe just like sell a few things to pad the PayPal account. So I didn't do as good a job of taking pictures as I would have liked. But when I started, where'd it go?
it's not there.
There it is. So when I started pulling stuff out, like I just started piling. Again, these are all empty boxes for the most part. This is not anywhere near everything that I pulled out of those bins, but this is kind of like a cross section of some of the stuff that started coming out of
Crazy.
there. And I just realized that like I have so many boxes. I have so much stuff. I really kind of need to figure out what to do. What do I need to keep? What do I not need to keep?
Mm-hmm.
What can I recycle? What do I want to sell?
And did you figure that out? Did you come up with like a game plan?
Not first, but I basically just started listing things on eBay.
Okay.
And I've been selling things for a couple of months now, a few things every week. And honestly, I've made some really decent money unloading a lot of stuff that was in the attic. And some of the stuff that was in here that I sort of eventually kind of started reevaluating what I was doing.
That's like a nice bonus whenever you're able to do that, right?
Yeah. And then there were some things that I didn't feel like listing, or I guess more accurately, I didn't feel like shipping. So I ended up with like a pile of stuff that I brought over to Pandora's Box. And I sort of regret not taking the time to list them on eBay, because I got way, way, way less for them than I would have if I sold them on eBay. Mm-hmm. But the bonus is that all of this stuff went away at once, and they PayPal'd me directly, like as I left there. So all of that money just kind of ended up in my PayPal slush fund. But there's just been so much stuff, and I've been getting rid of stuff that I didn't need. Like everything you saw there, that was mostly just stuff that's been in storage in some capacity. A lot of it since I was in like high school, just dragging it around from house to house to house and trying to figure out what to do with it. So now I don't have to figure out what to do.
It has been figured out.
It has been figured out. I also, as I was going through things, I decided I probably have way too many boxes. So I started looking through them and trying to figure out what ones make sense to keep and what ones don't make sense.
Okay, break it down. I'm curious to hear this, because again, I'm taking inspiration from you, and we'll get to that later. But give me the
things that had, things that kind of have fancier boxes, like the Ultimates figures and things like that. Like there's a good reason to keep these boxes. If I want to ever sell these figures, having these boxes, it kind of makes sense. They're very nice boxes. The artwork is really good. Those figures have a ton of accessories, and finding a home for them while I'm selling them, that's going to help out. But like, do I really need the Black Series boxes? Because as I've been collecting these G.I. Joe classified figures, early on, I was like, I'm not saving these boxes. I'm not doing this again. And I was just kind of like, I don't think I need to save these boxes. And the other boxes, I got rid of a good amount of boxes, but mostly classified boxes. And I also, those Gentle Giant Jumbo figures, I have the 6 Bounty Hunters, and I have Grand Admiral Thrawn. And the plastic clamshells for those are so big.
Yes, like they are giant, one would say.
Those 7 plastic containers filled up 2 of those bins on their own. So even though I probably should have hung on to those for like the resale value, I just got rid of them because they're taking up way too much space. And I don't see myself wanting to sell the giant Kenner bounty hunters anytime soon. I love those stupid
And if
figures.
you do sell them, it's not like, I mean, you can still sell them. You just don't need, the giant cases. Like,
they'll be a lot easier to ship too. So I don't know if this picture does justice to how big
I think the
this
garbage
Walmart
can
box
is, as a size kind of comparison
So
there.
this thing is full of Black Series boxes, and then those giant clamshells that I was talking about. So I got a lot of stuff out of there.
And how do you feel?
So,
Let's pause and how did that feel getting rid of the Black Series boxes?
So I'm going a little bit out of order.
Okay.
So I think before I answer that question, I need to kind of talk about, as I was going through this stuff, and more specifically, as I was rearranging things in here, trying to find room for stuff, I started really kind of looking at what I'm collecting.
Okay.
I started thinking about like, oh, what's all this stuff in the attic that I'm saving? And I started looking around the room and just sort of not really sure what I'm doing. So this is like what I did in this room was primarily to accommodate the classified figures to an extent, but it's actually in large part because of the G.I. Joe vehicles that I've been interested in. So you could kind of say that the Snowcat started all of this, because I started thinking, where am I going to put that thing when it gets here? And so while I was going through stuff and I was moving stuff around, I kind of started looking around at everything and just sort of judging the real estate that they took up. And I started thinking a lot about, like, what am I collecting and why am I collecting it? And I started to realize that I just had a lot of stuff just to kind of keep lines complete. And the biggest one being that I just was looking, I'm like, I don't need all of these Black Series figures. I really only care about the original trilogy stuff and the figures from the Rebels. So I ended up selling pretty much everything else. All of the Mandalorian figures, except for the Mandalorian. I kept
a keeper.
All of the Bad Batch figures, all of the Clone Wars figures, essentially everything except original trilogy, Rebels, and then there's like a few cool figures like Rex, the Mandalorian, the actual Mandalorians, the Ronin figure, and the droid with the thing, like just stuff that was interesting to me.
Before you acquired quite a bit. So did you feel at the time kind of like obligated to get them, or you wanted them at the time?
I wanted them, but I also was just kind of going like, oh, I'm buying the Mandalorian figures.
Okay.
So of course I'll buy the Remnant Stormtrooper. Of course I'll buy the Client.
Spiky Mando or whatever there was, right?
Well, no, I didn't buy all of the Mandalorian variants, because even then I felt like that was kind of abusive, trying to make me buy the same figure over and over again. But like, I was mostly, Bill Burr dressed up as the guard.
You bought him?
Like, I'm like,
okay, so
yeah, I did.
I resisted that one, but
I bought pretty much every Mandalorian figure that wasn't a repaint. I bought all of the stupid Mandalorians, even the ones that the helmets didn't come off of, just like the super generic one. Axe body spray Wolfman, like that. Like
I avoided a lot of those. I'm surprised they suckered you in. You were just in, like you.
I was just in. I was just buying all of them, and I'm looking at them, and I'm going like, one, they're taking up a whole lot of space.
I would imagine, yes.
And two, do I really care about Wolfman Axe? I kind of don't.
Axeman. What's his real name? It's
Axe
Wolf.
Woves, I think,
not
or something like that.
Wolves. Okay.
Yeah. So this is like a really big shift in my mindset as far as collecting. Keeping a few figures from a line that I like and being okay with that, and being okay with not having the set.
Yes, it makes sense. You're keeping what you want, not focusing on being a completionist just for the sake of it, right?
Yes, but you got to understand, like, I've always thought that way.
Yeah, if you have one, you have all.
Yeah, I collect lines. I don't collect things, I collect lines. And I was just really kind of thinking about it, and I'm like, why?
Okay.
Why do I do that? And I don't really know the answer why I do that. But I started thinking about whether or not I actually need to do that. And I kind of came to the conclusion that I probably don't. So before I threw away all of the Black Series boxes, I boxed up all of the ones that I was going to sell. So I could just, so I don't recycle all those boxes, I can just get them back out into the world, and I'll get a little bit more money for the figures. Not much. I mean, I took a bath on like most of the modern stuff that I sold. But after I sold all of those, the remaining boxes, aside from some, like I kept the boxes to the bounty hunters. I actually kept most of like the Series 1 and Series 2 boxes because they're different boxes, like the red.
I have the one, like the Boba Fett one, the original. What was the red line box? Because it's from a different time. It looks nice.
So I kept those, but like I've only probably kept maybe a dozen of boxes in total. But I recycled everything else. So now going back to your question, how did it feel parting with those? Sort of good, but then I had like a panic attack a couple days later because I was moving around my original trilogy figures and I was kind of just getting annoyed. I'm like, they never did this figure, they never did that figure. What's the point? And I was like, I should just get rid of everything.
Oh no.
And I'm like, oh, I can't. I just threw away all the boxes. Like, what am I going to do? I talked myself off that ledge. Just because they never made a gonk doesn't make the other figures on the shelf worse.
Sure.
And again, for me, that's a tough thing to sort of come to grips with because I want to have all of the things. I want each of them on their shelf in their spot next to the thing it's supposed to be next to, the complete set. I'm never going to get a complete original trilogy set of all of the Kenner figures they made. That's never going to happen. Okay. Am I okay with that? I am.
Okay. I feel like this is very therapeutic for you. You've had an epiphany there.
You've known me for a long time, but I still feel like you're looking at me like I'm a crazy person.
No.
This is completely...
I get it. I've been there where like I understand what that feels like when you have a thing and there's 7 other things. Even like talk about a record, if it's 6 different colored vinyl versions of that record, like I understand what it's like not feeling complete. And what you're saying is you're almost like, well, I only need the ones that I like. So
yeah,
I get it. It's still hard to hear, but I totally get it.
The record variant thing is something I've for the last few years I've been cutting way down on that, and it's mostly been because labels are just getting abusive about it.
Okay.
It's like, hey, it's the new record. Buy one of the 5 variants that we have, and I'm like, man, I don't need 5 copies of every record that I buy. So I only chase variants for like the really important stuff, like the Rocket from the Crypt.
Okay, but it sounds like you're applying that to Black Series here. You're only after the ones that are mattering. Oh my gosh, what happens? Look at that. They died.
This is what, and it's funny because down at the bottom, I actually got rid of those 3 Dr. Aphra figures as well. So they didn't even make the final purge. I ended up selling those too. But swaths of the Black Series collection, which ended up giving me like a whole lot of extra room that I didn't have before.
Now you do. A lot of blue tack there, waiting for new figures.
So I'm trying to figure out what do I want to be collecting now, because I don't need to do the completest thing. What am I actively collecting and what do I want to do with it?
Okay.
So I have a handful of main lines that are going on right now. One is the Masters of the Universe Origins series, or Orange series. That's fine too. They almost have re-released all of the original vintage figures. There's like 6 or 7 left. Most of the other things that they're doing right now, like the 200X figures and the cartoon collection figures, I'm not collecting those anyway. So I'm almost done with Masters of the Universe Origins. So I can keep doing that and buy like the last 5, like the last 10 figures that they end up putting out to finish up the vintage line. I have the space for that. There's spaces there. You can kind of see that empty slot. That's not going to take up any more room than it already takes up.
You're good.
I'll keep going with that. Okay. It's almost done. Thundercats Ultimates, there's probably only 4 figures left that I need to get the ones that I want. You know, I really want to get a Tuska Warrior. They haven't made it that yet. I want to finish up the Berserkers, and I want to finish up the Lunatics. And I'm fine. Any other characters that they never made that are all that interesting. So again, I have room for those last handful of figures in my current setup. So that one's pretty much good. I'll finish that up, but I don't have to go nuts about it or anything. So then we have classifieds, which is probably one of the more active things going on right now because they're kind of really in the thick of like a lot of cool stuff. So that's a modern one that I can keep going with. And there's enough stuff coming out that I'll be able to buy a handful of figures every few months. Cool. And then there's also the can I reach it? I can't reach it. There's the Godzilla reaction figures, like the little Shogun Warrior one that I gave you. Mm-hmm. So that one I'm still very much all in on, buying all the weird variants, this, that, and the other thing. I got a ton of those, not really that expensive because they're small figures. They're like $20. It's, you know, it's a fun little thing to be buying. But as far as like active modern lines, that's kind of it right now. I'm not really doing anything else, and I don't think I need to do anything else. So do I want to keep just looking for modern action figures to buy that I don't really have room for? Or do I want to think more about what it is I actually want? Because the modern figures that I buy are usually modern versions of old things anyway. Mm-hmm. I want to buy more vintage things. And I don't want to go down that same path of thinking that I have to have everything. Why can't I just buy one thing from a line that I want?
Why can't you? Can you?
I can. That's the thing. I can. You know, I don't have to have every figure and vehicle from every line from when I was a kid. I didn't have them then, so I don't need to have them now just for the sake of it. So I've really started thinking, and I've really started prioritizing, and I'm focusing now on specific items that I've always wanted or that I had as a kid and want again. And rather than spend money chasing little things to complete collections or just continuing to add modern figures just to fill up shelf space, just so I have a package to open every, few days or whatever, I really want to focus on saving up and maybe spending a little bit more for some like higher quality singular things. I don't want to get into too many specifics right now because I do want to save some of this stuff for Invention Exchange.
Okay.
But what I will say, because this is like the Star Years is kind of like a good example of this. Like I've always wanted these, but I've never really wanted to take the time to spend the money on them because they're kind of expensive. Some of them are. Some of them are really expensive. Some of them I got a good deal at the toy show.
You did. Talk about that maybe next week.
Yeah, but and that's a line that I do want to get all of the robots. They also had some like vehicles and things like that. But I think there's 12 robots in total, and they're all really just neat looking.
Cool.
So like I do want that, and I do want to get all of those. But I really don't want to get into I have to have all of the vintage G.I. Joe figures. Like I don't have to have all of those. I don't have to have all of the vehicles. But are there certain things from some of these older lines that I really want to get? And the answer is yes. And by selling all of this stuff on eBay, I've given myself a little bit of a slush fund to start doing some of this.
That's nice. You turned it into fuel for, the next pursuit.
Fuel for the hate game.
Fuel for the hate game, indeed. No, that's awesome.
So I'm really excited about some of the things that have shown up already. Like you see me looking over there because like I kind of have them all in one little area that's not super arranged yet. They're kind of just getting piled up over there.
Mhm.
But like remember that that transforming ketchup bottle that I
I do
showed you?
recall that. Yes.
Like I love that stupid thing. Like I want more stupid things like that, or more things that are just sort of those grails that I've always wanted. Because there's been a lot of things that I haven't bought over the years because like oh, it's just too expensive. It's just too expensive.
And now
Guess
you're
what?
saving yourself some money. Yep.
They're
Focus.
not getting less expensive. They're like if I had bought this stuff 20 years ago, it would have been way less money than it all
Yep.
is now. So at some point, you kind of got to draw that line in the sand and go, I'm going to just do it.
Mhm.
I'm going to just do it. Am I going to perhaps overpay for some of this stuff in the short term to make sure I get nice stuff? Maybe. But this is the sort of stuff that, in theory, if I need to unload it at some point, I probably won't take a complete bath on it like I did with some of this modern. Like those G.I. Joe Ultimates figures, I lost so much money.
I imagine you weren't the only person probably making that decision.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing, the problem with the G.I. Joe Ultimates is that was one of those lines that ended up on clearance.
Oh, yeah.
Especially not all of them, but some of the waves ended up on like major clearance. Like I think you could get Duke for like $10 from Big Bad Toy Store at one
Versus
point.
50 or whatever he was.
Yeah, 50. They were all $55 like
Yeah.
when I bought them. So I took a complete bath on those. And I don't want to do that again. Like if whenever you collect anything, there's a rotation. You buy stuff, you eventually decide it needs to move on to a different home because your interests have changed a little bit. And if I'm gonna buy stuff, I want to try to buy stuff that like when the time comes to move it on, it's not like, oh wow, I lost 70% of the money I paid for that thing.
Yeah, it'd be best to come out a little bit ahead, like you said, and the money goes back into that fund.
Yeah, or just even. So that's kind of like where I'm at. And like I know you said you like had like questions and you wanted to kind of unpack some of this.
No, I think you talked through it. You've answered all my questions. I was curious, like what really started all this, and
this the Snowcat.
It was the Snowcat. It
was the Snowcat. Because when I was able to sell the guitar to buy the Snowcat to where I could make the decision to keep it. It wasn't just a matter of like, okay, I'm spending family money on this, so I'm doing it for the figure. And when that thing comes in here, I'll sell it. I'll sell the vehicle. I'll get my money back. So I won't have cost my family.
This is the logic we use, right? Like
the
way we do it.
But since I sold the guitar and put all of that money right into it, I'm like, I can keep this now because I didn't spend.
Yeah,
I didn't spend mortgage money on this. I spent bongo money on this. And do I want to keep this? And the answer is, yeah, I really do want to keep that.
Awesome.
So where's it going to go?
Where's it going to sit? Yep.
Where's it going to sit?
2 seats.
So
I wish you had more pictures. While you were going through those bins, you were showing, like you talked about the boxes. You talked about the Black Series. You didn't talk about the weird stuff as much. There was a lot of weird things that you've been carrying around for the better part of your life now, huh? Yeah, case in point. Let's talk about Mumbles.
Well, no, it's not that. I figured out why I kept this. This is the Dick Tracy figure on the Mumbles card. It's a miss card.
Oh, is it? Okay, it's not actually Mumbles.
It's Dick Tracy, so that's why I kept it. I don't know if this will focus, but
Coppers and Gangsters. What am I looking at? $4.99 at Jamesway.
Where's it from? Jamesway.
Yay! That's great.
So that's why I kept this. So like I'm putting that's up on eBay right now. We got the complete series of Batman the Animated Series Happy Meals, including the Under 3 toy, because these came out when I worked there.
I'm telling you, we should do a whole show. I'd love to just do the show and tell of all the random stuff that you found in there.
My Portland Sea Dogs hat from when I used to collect hats when I was in high school. That's a minor league baseball team.
Okay.
I found a couple of like I don't know why I have any hats left, but like I have an Indianapolis Colts hat. I have a
Muttley, yeah.
Muttley. I have Reggie.
Very so bizarre.
I have a MASH hat.
I feel like it was just a matter of obtaining a hat, regardless of what was on it at that point.
Again, you know me, and like that's what I did with. When I was in high school, I had like 70 hats, and I wore baseball hats every day. We got an unopened pack of Star Wars Galaxy trading cards.
Oh,
from
you know, it's so
1993.
funny. I think I got one of those in the garage as well. That's so
Yeah.
weird.
1996 Star Wars ornaments.
Yep. Which again, all the work you've been doing has been inspiring me to get rid of my crap because I'm hanging on to lots of things that can go.
But this is all just like, why? What am I doing with this stuff?
I don't know.
Why? And the crazy thing that I can't figure out is why do I have this stuff, but yet all of like the kind of important stuff ended up at my grandparents' house, and I had to just liquidate it in a fire sale. But yet that Muttley hat, luckily I've dragged that to every place.
And Mumbles, you still have Mumbles.
Life. Yeah,
Mumbles has survived everything for reasons unknown.
So like I don't completely understand why I have some of the things that I do still, but I can assure you I do not need this stuff in any capacity. And I'm pulling up like my eBay auctions right now. I'm gonna just quickly like talk like I'll list through some of the stuff that I have sold already. Let's see, loading up here. So,
and when you were doing this, you were making me a very great offer on that Black Series snow speeder.
Yeah, I sold it.
I appreciated that, but then like again, I didn't want to be. You were the ghost of Christmas future there because I'm thinking I'm going to get this thing. It's giant. It's going to sit around, and it's just going to end up taking space, and then I'm gonna have to sell it one day. So we just skipped right ahead to the class there.
At the end of the day, I got about $130 for it. Plus, I got to keep the DAC figure. Like I didn't have to give up the DAC figure.
Nice.
So I sold a bunch of Black Series stuff. I sold all of those G.I. Joe Ultimates. I had some Steve Keen paintings, the guy who did the cover artwork for Wowie Zowie. Okay. He did an art installation at my college girlfriend's college. So I had 2 of his paintings. I sold those. I also had a big pavement one that he did because I was living here. So probably about 5 years ago, I bought like a pack of paintings from him off of eBay where I got 6 paintings. 2 of them were for the band The Fall, and Hillary sold those for me on Facebook Marketplace like immediately for like nothing. And then there were 4 pavement ones, like 3 of the albums, and then the Watery Domestic EP. I never hung up the Watery Domestic EP one. It just kind of ended up sitting around like behind one of my dressers. So I sold that for $275. I found an autographed Mark Hamill plaque from QVC from 1992.
That was a good one.
At $300 for that.
That's great.
I had some I decided to parse out some of the Masters of the Universe Origins figures that I didn't really care about, like the ones that weren't original vintage figures are particularly cool. I sold some of those. I got rid of a couple of the Thundercats figures. What else do I got here? It's a lot of Black Series and a lot of the G.I. Joe Ultimates. That's the bulk of what I've gone through so far.
And that's what I think I have teed up right now is, I mean, I have an entire tub, not only does it full of boxes, it's full of Black Series figures in the boxes.
Yeah.
Ones that I don't even know what's in there. They've been in there for probably a couple years now. So
yeah, the way I got rid, like selling them individually would have made me want to jump off of a bridge. So what I did was I made lots of them. Like, hey, here are Mandalorian good guys. Here's Mandalorian bad guys. Here's Bad Batch stuff. So I clustered stuff together and then just unloaded it that way.
Yeah,
but like now my eBay stuff is I'm at the weird stuff. So I'm curious to see where this goes. Thus far, not a whole lot of action on a lot of this stuff. Not a lot of watchers. Very few bids so far.
Well, keep us posted on Mumbles. Let's see how he does.
Well, I've got some bids on him. I started it at 99 cents, and I believe it's up to $3.25.
Well, as long as you get your $4.99 back, you're golden.
Yeah, I'm solid. So I think what I've been doing is the stuff that doesn't sell, I've just been relisting it, and eventually most of it's gone. I think I'm going to do that a couple of times with this weird stuff, and then the stuff that eventually doesn't sell, I'll probably bring over to Pandora's and just see what I can get for it. Because again, I got some big weird things. Like I got that Sakuda alien model, which I'm not going to pull out because it's under a bunch of stuff, and then I'll make a mess.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll love that.
This giant alien thing that if I can't sell it for a halfway decent price, I'd rather not have to ship it.
I think it was Sound Exchange had that like a million years ago, back when they were much dirtier of a store. And I always admire, I don't know if it was that one, but they always had like a big, like it was from the 70s vintage alien figure. And it was so cool. Uh, so yeah, I remember it from eons ago. But that one you have is very, very cool. And like you, I've got my bin of Pandora stuff over here, which is the crap that probably is not worth even putting on eBay.
So what is it going to take for you to get started? Because like we've been having like a less detailed version of this conversation for like 2 months now as I've been doing this.
Yeah, I think my issue right now, I mean, first of all, like my space is such an absolute mess of stuff. Like there is just stuff everywhere, piles and piles of boxes and figures. So I don't know. I think I just need to throw my light box back on the table and just start going through. Like I started by separating things, getting the Pandora box, but it's like it's mentally taxing, right? When you see all this crap, it's like I don't know where to begin. And I know you just got to pick something up and start with that. So
yeah,
I think that's just what I need to do.
I have we have a loft in our house, and that's the record room. That's next to pathology. But that's where I have all of my vinyl records and all of my CDs and my stereo and all of that stuff. And the pictures of the bins that I showed you are from that room. That room is still just kind of chaos right now. I mostly have the bins that are ready to go back upstairs into the attic. They're mostly ready. I just have to get them up there. But I went to San Diego and I didn't want to risk like throwing my back out before I went to San Diego. Since we've been home, my wife has been she's been ill this week. So I haven't really gotten to do much with that. So once I get the stuff that's going back up there, that'll free up some space, but there's still just a lot of stuff that I got to figure out what I'm going to do with. Like I have my Return of the Jedi sleeping bag from when I was a kid. Like it was mine from when I was a kid, which I've just said twice. What do I do with that?
So besides from sleep in it, you probably don't fit in it anymore.
I absolutely would not. It would be like a sack race bag for me at this point.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, I think
weird throwing it away now.
I feel like that's something. Wouldn't Pandora be interested in that?
Why would they want a dirty old? It's not like it's in really nice condition. Like I used it when I was a kid.
Well, I don't know. Better than throwing it out, maybe.
I don't know. Like there's stuff like that I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with. So some of it is probably gonna go back in the attic. I also have these canisters that my mom sort of guilted me into taking. They were I think she got them as wedding presents. And that's when I was a kid, what she kept like flour and sugar and stuff like that.
And she made them your problem?
She kind of made them my problem. They're not nice. Like they don't match this house. Like my wife doesn't like them. I don't like them. They're heavy as all hell because they're these giant like pottery like I don't know what they're made out of. They're not ceramic, but they're like stoneware. They're heavy. Yeah. And I don't know what to do with them because I can't give them back to her. She doesn't have any room for them. I don't think either of my brothers want them. I don't want them. So I think they're just going to go back up in the attic just so I don't have to have that conversation.
You can't just bring them to like a Goodwill or something.
I'd feel guilty.
But I mean, what's the alternative? They live in the attic forever one day and then end up at Goodwill?
And end up as someone else's problem.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess if you got the space for it, then it's probably might be easier that way.
Well, I brought down 35 bins. I'm only putting back up 21.
So I think you have some bins. That's
a big, like, again, these are huge bins. Yeah.
All right, well, you asked what's going to take to get me started. Maybe we do an episode and I just start going through a bin and we just do it. We look at what's in there. Cause again, I don't even know what's in this stuff, but I know I don't even feel like inspired to take photos or do anything because it's such a mess and I'm just swimming in crap. I don't know that I've saved a lot of empty boxes, especially Black Series. I've been pretty good about tossing all of those boxes when I open them. Like you, I think I've saved one or two. I saved like the Rex box, like the not DJ Rex he was just the pilot from Star Tours. Oh no, it was DJ Rex. That was the figure they made. So I saved that one. I saved like the Boba Fett box, but most of those I open, take the plastic out, throw the carton and recycle everything. So, but I'm looking at things like like I'm surrounded by, where the hell was it? I just had it here somewhere. Oh, like boxes for like the Muppets and stuff, like these figures, the NECA figures. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're nicer boxes, but I'm trying to part with them. And then this giant box from the Mondo Ghostbuster, like
you have to save that box.
Yeah, but it's so big,
especially considering how small the figure is.
And this figure is, but hey, I would tell you, this is a nice figure. Like it, got him out, and I was like, it moves very nice. The joints are great. I think he looks fantastic, but he is small, small.
Yeah,
so nice. But he is going to be alone because I'm not getting the rest of these. They are too expensive.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I don't see how I could not have the 4 Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
it's a tough one. I don't think I can do. I couldn't do that.
I wasn't thinking going into it that, hey, if you do this is $100 figure times 4. I mostly wanted Slimer. I did not have a Slimer at all. But yeah, I think like you even offered to come over one day. Maybe we'll have to do that.
I continue to offer that because like I actually really like digging through stuff. I like organizing stuff. I like kind of coming up with plans. Like I enjoy that. I really like to organize stuff. I like to make order out of chaos. So I'm very happy to come over there and spend a day just digging through stuff and kicking your butt a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it needs to be done because like I have a small space here. I also got to get like, the Lego sets I want to get rid of. So I got to start. I mean, I think I could only sell those locally. There's probably not a lot I could do there, but I want to.
It depends on how much time you're willing to take.
I'm not willing to dismantle them and put them back in bags, if that's what you meant.
That's what I meant. Like when I actually did this as I built them because I never really had room for Lego. So as I built something and I was like, oh, that was fun and therapeutic and relaxing. And when I took them apart in reverse and bagged everything. I rebagged everything in the original bag that it was supposed to come in.
I think that I'll just stick up on Facebook as is, come take it. So like the Slave one, the Stranger Things, the Castle I'll keep, but Slave one, Stranger Things, and that'll free up some space. And like that thing over there that this thing has had forever, like the Han and the Tauntaun. Like that can probably go. Not that that's worth anything.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably worth 47 cents.
Yes, but to your point, like why I get no joy out of it, right?
Yeah,
it's not something. It's something that we bought way back when there was no Star Wars stuff. You bought whatever would came out.
Beddoms. Unless
that Tauntaun would look. I haven't seen it in ages. I don't even know if the Tauntaun looks good. I can put the Mandalorian on it, like the Hot Toys Mandalorian. He can ride it around.
I'm pretty confident that Tauntaun probably does not look good.
All right, well, stay tuned next week. We'll get it down off the shelf and we'll see. Yeah, it might be a bit assy. Yeah, maybe maybe that's it. We could do an episode together of just going through everything. Yeah. I just got to straighten up somewhat. Like you can't even walk in this room without stepping on something. And it's so depressing. It's just such a miserable way to exist. So.
Yeah. Yeah. This whole time, like that I'm like an extraordinarily organized person. Like I'm a very neat person. The past like couple of months as I've been doing this, it's been driving me crazy. Like everything that's out of camera view is just such a mess right now. And that like the door is just shut in the record room because I can't have the cats in there running around with all that garbage all over the place.
No, I get it.
It's making me nuts. So like, but I purposefully created this mess with the intention of making it better to move it out. So I can deal with it a little bit more. But like, if that was like the resting space of this room, I don't know how I would handle that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I started, it's my bad because I like made a mess to try to clean things up, and that I've been living in that mess for weeks now because I don't have the energy to sit down and do it. I need to take like a day off of work and like get up. All right, 8 o'clock. Here we go. This is like the plan.
Maybe I'll like the day off from work you took tomorrow.
Well, that is a day of other things. That's family day. But I mean like when the kids will be at school, like, and I can just get up 8 a.m., come downstairs and just start putting things away. I'll save it for next time, but there's like all of the dioramas I build and the 3D things I print and paint. I've got boxes of that crap too. And I might bring it to Legion's Con and just break like free on it. And hopefully someone can take it off my hands. So, all right, let's tentatively figure that out maybe for a future episode of.
Yeah. Like I had said earlier, I'm taking the week of Thanksgiving off.
All right. And that's not too far. Maybe I will do the same and we could do it one day that week. It's a lot of stuff, but
because the kids are still in school that week, aside from like Thanksgiving, right?
I believe so. Yes.
So
that might work. That could work. All right, cool. What else we got for tonight though? Anything?
No, that's it. Like, again, I don't know that this would be particularly interesting to a lot of people, which is why I was a little reluctant to kind of go.
I thought it was super interesting. Again, I very, again, inspired. You took a lot, you went for it. You found a lot of random stuff. You sold it, cleaned up, and now you've kind of refocused the way you think about collecting. I feel like there's less pressure on you now, and it's just more fun.
Aside from the fact that one of the things that like I have a really hard time with is when I go down a rabbit hole, fighting the urge to like, I got to get this done as fast as humanly possible. Yeah. Like I'm constantly looking for like the Star Ears figures that I want to get. And I'm like, I'm trying, okay, well, how much does this one kind of go for? So, okay, I got to make sure I get one that has all the stickers on it. Because if the stickers aren't on it, then blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I have existed 48 years without having these. Well, aside from when I had them when I was a kid, but like I've existed for a long time not having these.
But I know that feeling, like I need it now. Like I want it all now. So, but you can make it.
I can do that, and I can take my time, and I can make sure that I buy ones that are nice. Because buying ones that aren't nice just because they're cheap eventually means I'm probably going to want to replace them with nicer ones. So I want to just kind of start nice. And I've done that with one item that I'll make that my Invention Exchange next week, because it's something that I've always wanted since I was a kid.
Ooh. I
finally got it, and I likely overpaid for it, but the condition of it was really nice.
Right.
So
I am intrigued. We'll take a look.
I'm really excited about it because it's something I always wanted. And again, I don't think that most people would probably even think it's a big deal, but having a complete one, a nice complete one, I'm so excited that I have one. Again, even though I'm very confident I overpaid for it.
Yeah, but you have it now, so that's a good tease. So I'm looking forward to see what that is. But yeah, I mean, I just got an alert on eBay, something I'm watching, or part of like a big net that I searched for. I'm like, you know what? This is a good price for this, but I don't even know if I have it. I may already have it. And like, so like, that's the hell I'm in. So yeah, well, let's continue to talk about this. And maybe that week of Thanksgiving, like that Monday or something, we just
let's just
get up and take the kids to work. All right, cool.
I'll drive down there. I'm game. I am game. Right. And I will very much play the devil's advocate of, do you need this? Like, really? Do you need this?
But I don't know that you'll have to play that much, because I know there is a lot that I do not need. Yeah. And like you, I'm trying to refocus on the things that I really like Legend of Zelda stuff. I mean, it's been nice that we've been getting Beetlejuice stuff. But again, it's the big thing is those Black Series figures, man. There's probably just so many that are in that, and I don't even know what's in there.
I probably sold about 100 of them all in.
Yeah, so.
But I still have I still have 2 Detolf full of Black Series ones, but they're the ones that I really care about. They're the ones that are from the things that I like the most. And I look at them and I go, I sure do wish they made a Snaggletooth, and I really think it would be cool if they made a 2-1B, but I still really enjoy the ones that they have made.
And maybe, you'll get one of those over the next decade. Who knows?
Maybe. They need to line plan the same way that G.I. Joe does, because G.I. Joe just does it so good. Like they get, there's always something for everybody.
If only they can talk to each other and
yeah, it's a shame that they're not the same company. Oh wait. Anyway, though, but yeah, this has been therapeutic in general. It's I've enjoyed talking about it, but like I said, I don't know how interesting it would be to other people. But,
hey, I was interested. It's interesting to one other person, so
Yeah.
There you
Okay. So we accomplished that much at least.
Yes.
But yeah, I think we'll be back next week, probably talking about Legion's Con, and we also went to another toy show, so maybe we'll kind of wrap that into the conversation.
I think that's a good idea. We talk about the local events a bit.
Yeah, and then see what happens for the rest of the year. I figure we probably got to just do like an end of the year sort of thing. Like
I know that's coming up. Yeah, our top everything's right.
Our top whatevers. I don't know what top things I need to. We need to come up with topics as to what top things we need to talk about. But
Okay.
that'll be a good mid-December thing, I think.
Awesome. Game on.
Well, I hope everybody has a lovely weekend, whatever you're doing, whenever you watch this. And we will be back kind of soon.
See you guys.
Perfectly excellent.